Art Deco radios are huge. They're full of personality, and they're fascinating. Welcome to Montford Boulevard, and welcome to the era of Art Deco furniture. Our aim is to get in sync with the art and style of the Roaring '20s and the 1930s, and to tastefully upgrade vintage furniture. Today's project is a radio that's long since lost its tune. Hopefully, by the time we're done, this amazing relic will have a new song to sing. Join us for another DIY Art Deco furniture restoration remake. Kind of an exciting inspiration for today's project. Barry over at Mad City Modern recently did an Art Deco radio. We've had the privilege of chatting with him recently, and he's become a good friend. Today, he is actually releasing another Art Deco project. Sort of a collaboration, you could say. So head over to his channel. We will put the link in the comments and the description to check out his new video. This Art Deco radio, some of you have noticed, has been sitting in our shop for a while, so it was nice to finally have a kick in the pants to get it going. This faceplate is pretty clouded, pretty dirty. We're excited to polish that up and see if there's anything in that metal frame, to see if that's possibly solid metal. It's likely plated though. We thought it was so interesting how Barry was imagining all the things people must have listened to on these radios. Reports of World War II, the stock market crashing, the Great Depression. We noticed some black lacquer on this grill here. Kind of interesting. That is rare in Art Deco furniture, but it does turn up from time to time. That grill cloth is really eroded, coming apart. We'll attempt to keep the veneer on the side. We're actually going to cover it, but it will make a much better surface. You can see you've kind of got this slatted wood underneath. So we want to try and get that veneer back down if at all possible. The components here, pretty fascinating, but pretty corroded as well. We're kind of worried that that logo is not going to survive if we attempt to get the rust off. This one should. We're going to keep these components in here. Our goal is not to restore the actual radio, but we want to preserve some of the art of this historic piece. It's interesting to think these radios were just kind of a centerpiece of home entertainment when they were released. Still got the original speaker, needless to say, has not been functioning probably for a long time. Flat screws, flathead screws. So we're gonna hop in, start taking this apart. Look at the cobwebs. It was just 4 screws holding on the top component there. Still wasn't letting go. And then we realized, of course, gotta take the knobs off. They were hanging on, but we noticed these funny little screws, just a slight twist, and then those knobs let go. That speaker is plugged in, they cut that hole. So there we go, that let loose. Very eager to get this thing vacuumed and cleaned out. Don't even want to breathe the air here. Wearing this base camp mask, very handy. So here we go, just these little flathead screws. Looking at the back side, this metal might shine up. It does look to be plated, so again, we'll have to be really careful. We will hold on to that speaker cover, even if we don't use it. But look at how easily this grill cloth just tears off of there. And what was really strange, there were no tacks or nails holding that on, just an adhesive. Some of it was still kind of sticky, almost like pine tar. We just did not expect that. That was all that was holding on that grill cloth. Going to have to wash this thing several times, just really want to make it clean and fresh. So we've got all of the components laid out here, labeled baggies just to make sure we keep track of all the hardware. This is the first Art Deco radio we have worked on. Got these funny tubes, bulbs in here. We do not know exactly what they do, if anybody can explain. So curious to know how these things function. Not sure if one is related to bass, one is related to treble, or what the purpose is, but dated technology, but it sure is fun to look at. This product was really handy. We were using steel wool at first, but then once we brushed on some of that, the rust just dissolved right off of there. We'll put a link to that below. Look at how clean that came. Sure enough, that one logo came off, but that's okay. This is really beautiful. We could not believe how well these tubes rather, shined up. Just a mirrored surface there. Can you believe it? Now each one had a different series of prongs to make sure that the right one would go in the right slot. And look at this faceplate. The top is untouched, but the bottom part is how it turned out. Just gently using steel wool on that metal, and then the plastic in the middle, we used a polishing compound. Did not expect it to look this good. Could really look at that for a long time. We were just astonished. As I said, we don't know much about these components, so we have a supervisor here who's going to help us make sure that we put it back together. This is where Lego training comes in handy.
Where's that?
That's a red one.
Let's do that one.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that one doesn't come out. That's in there pretty good.
So after the stamp of approval, we are going to proceed here. Again, just really impressed with how that cleaned up. So we did glue the veneer back down, doing the tap test. This is ready to sand. And for that, the supervisor has a sister who volunteered to help us sand. Her job was to sand until it's all gone.
My job is to sand until it's all done.
And she was doing a great job, but then decided she quit.
I quit.
So we'll have to move on to traditional methods for sanding. That's okay. With the orbital, this came off quite easily. This was a rather opaque stain. We've said this before, but sometimes the products that they used really covered the wood grain, and look at this on the top. We were so pleased to find this. Should be noted, we're not going to do a straight restoration here. Barry did a really good job of that with the radio that he worked on, which is a very valid approach in so many situations, but we will restore some of the wood. Especially on that face there, looking pretty incredible. We employ a sort of design-as-you-go technique. Looking at this, it's really just amazing to see it back in its original form. So we will want to preserve some of the wood, but we're going to make some choices here with colors and enhancements. Oftentimes it's not really clear what we're going to do until we're well into the project. So this grill that went in the center, we just took that off, and you can see those spacers in the middle. We actually want to center them. Going to have to cut them out of there and adjust them. I've got a hacksaw here. Have them loose now, and so we'll adjust them like so. That will take some repair and some techniques for adhering them in the middle. Then we plan to cut that. We're going to split that grill in two. So this is that 3M veneer that we've demonstrated prior. This is a really handy tool if you need a spacer. The adhesive is already there, so we're just using that to replace the area that was cut, kind of sanding, using a little bit of Bondo as well. We'll return to that later, but looking at the top now, and we have some naphtha. We're just going to clean everything off before we apply stain, and this will give you a nice preview of what you have to work with. You can see there's definitely some wood worth saving and highlighting. We were really pleased with the front here. And this is just natural stain, oil-based, designed just to present the wood as it naturally appears. Such a nice golden hue to this. Using a chip brush here for this reeded trim in the front. There you go. You are seeing some separation in the colors. We're going to try to enhance that a bit as we go. Still trying to decide on these shoes. We definitely want some color down there. Some repairs and touch-up to do later. Now looking on the inside, we sanded this top shelf. You can see some intriguing grain in there. This is ebony colored oil stain, making those grains pop just a little bit more. This is almost reminiscent of a recent project. There was a piece of wood we were asking for advice on. Somebody said curly heart pine, and that seemed to be what we were dealing with. Not quite the same there, but it was interesting. That shelf just added a coat of satin. And now these are the areas that we want to highlight using black lacquer here. So when it's humid out, we will fire up the dehumidifier. This one has been working really well. We actually purchased this one recently. Look at all the water that drew out of the air. We'll link that below in the description as well. But here's that black lacquer. We also added some semi-gloss over top of that. Black is a really good choice for Art Deco furniture. Black lacquer was used, and it just helps those wood grains to pop. We want to use just enough to cause some separation and add some style. Now this is exciting. We had some artwork custom printed. This is all from the 20s and 30s. We are highlighting entertainment from the era, the German film Metropolis, of course, Josephine Baker, incredible entertainer. The New Yorker magazine from 1926, Motion Picture magazine. Waldorf Astoria is an Art Deco hotel in New York. Still there today. Just some wonderful artwork from the 20s and 30s. Each of these subjects could be a video in and of itself, especially Josephine Baker and her history. Recommend you look her up sometime. We printed this on a canvas. Now we're using Mod Podge. This is gloss finish. We use a good amount of this product. You have a little bit of time to kind of work it, move it. We will use some water just to keep the surface wet, and you can put the adhesive over top of the fabric as well. It does disappear when it dries. Gonna get that tape off right away though and just clean up the excess. These radios were such a center for entertainment in households, and so I'm sure people were listening to advertisements for music, for movies. Adding some amber shellac now over top of this shelf, and it's popping even more. It's not quite like that curly heart pine that we dealt with before, but intriguing nonetheless. Putting these components back in, just sort of like a sculpture, an art installation for people to look at. And check out this knob. There's a globe, an image of a globe on there. We didn't even see it until we cleaned it up. Absolutely fascinating. Not sure if that indicates a separate channel related to news or what. This one has an Art Deco shape on it, for sure. You could call that Art Deco. And then these two top ones, not until we clean them, one says volume and one says tuning. Pretty interesting. If you have any idea what that globe knob may have been, let us know. It was really a joy to put this back on and just see these natural colors popping. This cleaned up really well. So this is a piece of trim that we custom cut ourselves just to kind of tie the black together, frame in some of this color. We think that helps balance it just a little bit. So now we're getting ready to cut that grill. This is the back side of it, of course. We've marked the center, and this is a miter box, just helping us get a perfectly perpendicular cut. So here we go, and we're working on the spacing. We really like this grill, but we wanted to make room above it for a shelf. So we decided these should go black as well. Before, just the spacers were black, and that kind of opaque stain was over the rest. But here we go. We've got a little base for them. We do have some wood glue in there, adding some nails now. Before that grill goes in, we're actually making a bottom here. We decided to make the possibility for a hidden compartment, you could say. We're going to add a back plate as well, a back panel that will be attached with screws, but somebody could hide valuables in here if they wanted to. Just a fun option. So once you peer inside the area that's going to be a shelf compartment, we are putting this vinyl Art Deco pattern on the back. This is a high quality vinyl. Sometimes we will line drawers or the insides of cabinets with this, but that's the look we're going for. For the sides, we have this black wood grain vinyl that we're putting on. It's more of a plain look, but elegant if you look close enough at it. This is fresh grill cloth. This is really durable. This product will not erode with time. We're putting this on the front edge of the shelf. We custom made a shelf. We're going to hide those staples later, but just positioning the shelf. And we're using longer nails now to pin down the shelf. So we pre-drilled and we're putting some nails in through this grill. We will have to fill that and repair it, which we did here. Brushing on some black lacquer powder. We'll then dust that with clear coat. So we're making some decisions along the bottom here. We want just a little bit of gold. The face plate for the top has that brass that's going to kind of match this, and you can see the green in the pattern in the artwork. Goes with it as well. Just adding a little bit of luxury down there. This was a little tricky. Pieces of trim that we're putting in there, pre-drilled, so again they're going to have to be filled, sanded, and touched up, but that's not a problem. And then the shoe here, there was a little bit of damage to take care of. Adding a second layer, some grain lines, and just matching the color of the natural wood down there. Coming together here, you can see at the top of that grill, we've touched up the holes, the nail holes. Securing the fresh grill cloth here. We'll cut off the excess, and I could really feel how tough this is. It's sort of a plastic or a nylon material that's very durable. Took a couple cuts to get that off of there. There you go, secret compartment in the bottom. And now we are installing a light that we purchased. LED technology here. Has a remote. There's a control on the back and also a remote you can use. It came with this handy two-sided tape. Sticks very well, but this is removable if somebody wanted to alter this piece. Getting the back in place, and now you're getting the feel of that shelf. Only thing left to do is seal this thing up. And now we will place a Bluetooth speaker in here. And with that, she's ready for her close-up. We had so much fun with this Art Deco radio project, and this is our attempt just to celebrate the wonderful art from that era. Josephine Baker, the Waldorf Astoria, of course Metropolis the movie, all of it gives us so much inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to our good friend Barry at Mad City Modern. We're excited to see the new Art Deco furniture project he's posting today, so be sure to check that out. We will link that below, and we'll also link to our store if you're interested in purchasing this Art Deco radio or any of our furniture pieces. Thank you again for sticking around till the end. We'll be back again soon with another Art Deco furniture project. But you're welcome back here at Montford Boulevard anytime.